So I want to do a quick video on Trump visiting the UK because with all the noise going on, and rightly so, with Charlie Kirk and just some of the domestic things within the US going on, a lot of civil rights type movements, it's great, but there's just something that's off about the Trump visit to the UK. And right now, what's happening, even as I speak, is that there's this ceremony and just other things happening as Trump and King Charles are meeting. And they just did this whole speech. They were talking about certain things. And officially, there's supposed to be more like trade negotiations. It coincides with some of the media reports talking about announcing several deals on technology and civil nuclear energy. And then I think British leaders want to finalize an agreement on metal tariffs. And so there's a lot of that stuff going on from the outside. But we know that this visit is significant. It's the second state visit. And if you don't know much about what happened before, this was the first time ever that a leader from the U.S. like Trump, a president, was invited the second time to a like this royal like state visit. And there's a lot of clips going around of, you know, what he said, what he's done. And this is just coming from we the media, but King Charles praising, you know, U.S. relations were in many ways closest of kin, joking about, you know, golf courses and various things. You can watch the speech there, but even Trump talking about being one of the highest honors of his life. For many decades, His Majesty the King has epitomized the fortitude, nobility, and the spirit of the British monarchy and the British people. And so on the outside, he's doing all this stuff, offering toasts. They did a whole ceremony. He was sitting there. I saw parts of it, I think live even, where this orchestra or like a band was playing for him, and just all of this pomp and like circumstance. And so it's significant in the sense of the celebration. And I just want to quickly read a truth post from Awaken Outlaw who mentioned some commentary. And so I'm trying to like look beyond, of course, like what's at surface level, but I haven't had the time, but I just want to touch on it and would welcome any comments on what you guys think. But of course, as you guys know me, I'm trying to look a little bit deeper, even if it means exploring conspiracy. So let's just read a little bit of what Awaken Outlaw says. Safe to say, given the larger events in play, both here at home and worldwide, I believe there's a good reason as to why such a remarkable event is occurring again on September 17th, 2025. Notably, during the ceremonial events, Donald J. Trump breached royal protocol 2 times in 2018 as a guest of Queen Elizabeth II for his first state visit. And if you guys remember, he stepped in front of him. First, refusing to signify deference to the throne, he and Melania refused to bow to the Queen. Predictably, this royal snub sent the left here and in the UK into an absolute frenzy. But it also makes his unprecedented second visit even more intriguing. But it's the next part I'd suggest paying close attention to, and that's the ceremonial tradition of inspecting the guard of honor. This part of the pomp and circumstance of the visit is significant due to its importance as signifying the monarch's role as the ceremonial head of the UK's armed forces. If you remember, Trump made headlines worldwide for stepping in front of the Queen while inspecting her troops, again, sending the same folks into a foaming spittle meltdown extraordinaire. Now, if I were a betting man, I'd expect Trump to follow suit on both fronts this time around. And when and if that occurs, while some, especially in the media in the UK, will predictably melt down, decrying Trump as just an elected official and boorish commoner, I believe there would be much more going on here than most of the public understands. All told, I absolutely believe this and would be, again, intentional and therefore intentionally symbolic. Why? It's simple, because this is related to the reason mentioned above. It projects to the world who's really in charge of not only the monarchy, but the old world order, big picture, eyes on. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that there's going to be more legs of the stool basically being freed. And as you guys know, even from his first term, Saudi Arabia and just all of what happened there, his life being spared, talking about Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and them being freed from the New World Order. What's happening just from a symbolic and higher level perspective is that Trump, the White Hats, and these guys, they're going around and freeing people of their tie to the global order. And so again, if they, the monarchy or whoever is part of the evil, or they're not, or they're trapped as part of what's going on, who knows, or alternatively, Trump is getting them to submit and to do the deal. And publicly, it's shown as being, nuclear and civil and, technology, IT, or whatever they're doing trade deals on. But internally, it's releasing the U.S. and others from their power over, the people of the world. And so, again, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to explore this stuff and research a little bit more, but a lot of media, and I mentioned this before, there's a lot of, I don't want to say distraction, but maybe it was intentional that the timing of, Charlie Kirk's assassination happened, but are they taking away from something else that's happening with the UK and some of the progression of the white hat movement, or is there something else? And again, a lot of the Epstein stuff is also starting to take more, hold. I think New York Times recently did a piece on J.P. Morgan and their tie, which was groundbreaking in some sense in the last week. But there's a lot going on here. And so the timing of this is a little bit fishy. But at the same time, it reminds me of this one post 2198, which was coincidentally marked the same day. And again, at the time of this recording, so, September 17th, U.S. time, the week of September 17th, D-Class coming, more incriminating text releases coming, Dark to Light, Carpet Bombs, Moab. So again, there's a lot of exposure happening, but who knows if there's any relation to the exposure and some of the stuff. And of course, the Senate hearings are happening right now with the FBI director, Kash Patel, and just all of that. And that's a whole nother story in and of itself. But it's just very strange to me that a lot is happening in some sense behind the scenes, or it's muted, while in conjunction you're seeing a lot of the Great Awakening and the Charlie Kirk related stuff. And it's good in that people are waking up and moving towards, if you want to say, ideologies, moving to the right or awakening to the truth, whether they're center or right or not, doesn't matter, but they're trying to understand and question things, right? To come out there and say what's really going on in the world. And it's awakening more people, red pilling them in some sense. So would love to know your comments, guys, on what this is, because the media isn't talking about it as much, but I feel like it would have happened if this Charlie Kirk thing wasn't, making its rounds and taking up the airwaves and stuff like that. But again, a lot happening, but just very interesting to see what this is. So just wanted to give you guys this, and also just quickly call attention to my fundraiser. You guys know I'm trying to meet my goal. I'm almost there. I'm trying to be listener supported temporarily. You guys know that, and I would love your guys' continued support for the time being. I have the information down below. We're almost there, guys. I would love it if just a few more people can, help me out, and we can reach that goal. And then hopefully we won't be able to keep saying that. I won't be able to keep saying this for that help. But alternatively, I also have PayPal, Zelle, and Venmo if you guys want to help me out. I would love it. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, legal battles, many other things, support for my team, operational expenses, many things right now. So it's a little bit of a difficult time, but I would love it if you guys could help me out. Also trying to build up this channel, my other channel, other platforms. Hopefully it can take off a little bit more. But again, as of now, I need support, guys. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much. More to come. Talk to you guys very soon.